Welcome back to Cottage Designs by Erin, where today we're making yet another dropped waist dress for the 18-inch American Girl doll. This is Butterick pattern 5110, and this is from the 90s. I actually usually make this pattern for my daughter. So the dress that I sewed earlier was not the pattern. I thought it was this pattern, and it was not. So I didn't like the skirt on that one because it was really full, and I don't know, it felt strange. So I'm going to move the camera to my hands now so you can see what I'm working with here. Okay, so I've already cut out the bodice. This is another taffeta dress. I lined up the patterns at the top. Okay, I've already hemmed the skirt and I've hemmed the sleeves. So now what we have to do is we have to put it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and shear up the sleeves. Again, you're going to shear the sleeves between the two notches. So we're going to pick out a stitch and we're going to shear the sleeve up. All right, we're going to turn the correct side of the bodice towards us and then place the sleeve inside the armhole. And the goal here is to have the end of the sleeve match the end of the armhole, which can sometimes be tricky. Notice that our notches match. Here's the notch. Okay, now we're going to sew that in place, going back to straight stitch number 2. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to zigzag stitch up to the hemline so that this doesn't fray or come unraveled. Okay, we're now going to take the pins out And we're going to repeat that same process on the other side. I do see a little bit of gather here we don't need. Okay. Shearing up the sleeve cap. Now I'm going to put it in the center and then work its way out to the armhole. Okay, now we're going to go make sure we're on a straight stitch number 2. Now I'm going to do a zigzag stitch up to the seam line, but not through the seam line. All right, now we are going to take this little jacket or bodice and fold it towards us, the front to the back. A little pucker there that we do not need. Now we're going to line up the side seams. Make sure that we have all the layers pinned in place. And then we're going to sew down the side of the arm seam to the waistline. We need our machine set back on a straight stitch number 2. Once again, we're going to zigzag up to the seam allowance so that there's no fraying and that the jacket will be secure. Tidy up any stray threads. And now we're going to repeat that process on the other side. Fold it towards you. Line up the side seams. I go back to straight stitch number 2 first. People ask me why I don't use pinking shears. I do have some, but I don't like to use them because I've got some arthritis in my hands now, and those shears are so heavy that they hurt my hands if I use them very much at all. All right, now we're going to zigzag stitch in that seam allowance. Okay, now we're going to flip the jacket inside out, or the bodice. All right. Now we are going to the center of this. Right, that besides that little black line. Need to mark that. All right, next we're going to sew our skirt. It's already been hemmed. You're going to bring the right sides together and sew up the back, leaving a little bit of room for the doll to get in. We need a straight stitch number 2. Oh, this taffeta is such a stringy mess. Okay, now we're going to press our back seam open. Or so I say. I can't get it open, so guess what? I'm going to press it to one side. Okay, and we're going to stitch the little part that goes up by her waist and her butt. Right, now we're going to find the center of our fabric, which the crease is still here. I can feel it. So I'm going to put a pin where the crease is at. We're now going to shear up the skirt. So you need it on a straight stitch with the longest stitch length, biggest stitch length, so you can shear it up. Okay, now I do have a couple notches, so I'm going to place some more pins on my fabric so that I can see those clearly once I shear this. We are going to shear this up to our center pin, one direction. And now we're going to shear it up to the center pin coming from the other direction. Okay, we have 3 pins here. These are the side notches and this is the center seam. We're going to try to match the center stripe to the center pin. You're going to put the jacket upside down facing you, and you're going to go up inside the skirt and try to match the seams here. You want to pin it kind of down low so you don't run over your pins when you're sewing it on. And the goal is to have the end of the skirt, or the end of the bodice, match the end of the skirt. And you gotta be very careful not to lose your gathers. Okay, we are now going to sew the skirt to the bodice. Straight stitch number 2. When sewing this on, you want to keep your hand inside the skirt so you can turn it as you go, so you kind of get it to go around. And you want to be able to feel all the layers to make sure all the layers are getting caught. Okay, I'm now going to cut off my gathering stitches. We are done with those. I'm now going to zigzag stitch in that seam allowance. This keeps the gathers in place and it keeps it from fraying. We are now going to take our pins out. Before I flip it inside out, I'm going to carefully go around the edge and cut the top off with pinking shears, which will remove any strings and prevent any in the future, hopefully. Okay, we've tidied up the inside. Now we can flip it inside out. Oh, I found a hole. I found a hole, so that's got to be stitched. Try it again. Okay, now it's good. There's no light showing through anywhere. So now let me put this on our American Girl doll dress form. Okay, let me bring the camera up. So here we have our drop waist dress. It'll have a big lush bow, might have some rhinestone buttons, depends on how I want to finish it out. So again, this was Butterick pattern 5110 from the early 90s, and we made View B, the drop waist dress. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and come back for more. Thank you.